Good afternoon. It is mid-August, and I'm just making my rounds here. And then all of a sudden I thought, well, let's have a little bit of fun. I thought maybe I'd have you visit me too. There's a few things I wanted to discuss with you today anyway. So hang in there, because I'm going to ramble a bit, ad-libbing as I always do, but I'm going to make some points through some of my observations today. And that is really the key. I think it's one of the keys to being a successful figster, really, or organic grower, or whatever you do in life, really, whatever endeavor you undertake. It's situational awareness. It's what I like to call situational awareness. Keeping your eyes open, being observant, noticing things, looking, striving to perfect, and we never. Striving to improve is a better representation of our better efforts in life, I think. And that's what I try to do. Every day I try to improve. Even the most experienced grower out there can learn a thing or two from anybody and from everyone. Me too. Me especially. One of the techniques I've always used. I don't think not too many people really know it, really. Not the people that I just meet casually and for brief spells and don't know very intimately. But believe it or not, there's times when I keep my mouth shut and I actually listen, and I listen good. And I have to admit, I play dumb very often. I play the novice. There's nothing wrong with novice. There's nothing wrong with humbling yourself, because I learned long ago that everyone has something to offer everyone else. Even the most humblest of people, the people that you would least expect might contribute to your life. They can, if you listen. If you take the time to listen, don't be too proud. Situational awareness. Just look around, and well, there's a perfect example out there. Okay, there's some fig trees far away. I should go there right now. Maybe I'll put this on pause, and I will. There's some fig trees in the further part of my yard that my wonderful son, Marius, I was on vacation recently, and he neglected to water those trees out there because he just forgot. There's so much to do. And believe me, I'm very grateful when I'm on vacation to have him to fill in for me, because without him, I don't know what I'd do. But he forgot to water those 2 figs. It's been very dry. This is one of the driest periods of the harvest, which is a wonderful thing. It's wonderful, because there's no better thing than dry weather during a fig harvest. But those trees are suffering out there. I observed them earlier today. And so I think I want to show you what happens when people withhold water. And I know a lot of people do withhold water. And it's a good idea to withhold some water, but there's a limit. Hey, what are you doing there? Hey there. I am being visited. Well, before I go out there, because I do want to make a point and a few other things, I have a problem I need to confess to you about. Gosh, I can't keep my hands off these darn figs. Here's one the bird got the other side of. It's okay. I share with the birds. Hey, I know you want a piece of this. Well, if you eat too many, you're going to get sick. But look at these beautiful figs. Hey, hey, Deb, you want some figs?
No,
I gotta wash them first. Hey, how did I know that? Look at that. Look at that beautiful Smith. Wow.
They look good though.
Oh, they're delicious. Well, you can take some inside and wash them if you
I'll
want.
do that in a second.
Mmm. Well, I got more to pick in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making a video. Man, I'll tell you what. Wow. Wow, so delicious.
Which one's that?
It's Smith.
Oh,
Mmm.
I like those too.
I got some beautiful Peter's honey. I've got some on the tree I'm going to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I ate a bunch of them. I should have waited till today. But isn't that the story
Yep.
I often tell?
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. Oh, wow. I believe this one here is tiger. Let's take a look and see what's inside. This is a tiger. Look at that. Yeah, my tigers are getting ripe. They're interesting. It's a very interesting fig. You know, I see so many characteristics in it that you can find in its parent, one of its parents, Celeste. In fact, I want to compare something for you today. A work. I want to show you how closely it resembles Celeste, which I have right next to it. I love Celeste. And the key to Celeste is to ripen them, to get them ripe, good and ripe. And the difference between, and this is a good point, and this is a valid point I'd like to stress. The difference between, say, a ripe fig and a very ripe fig and a perfectly ripe fig, the differences are staggeringly dramatic. I mean, a ripe Celeste is a good Celeste. It's a good fig. It's delicious. But a very ripe Celeste is 200% better. It just has a unique flavor that no other fig has. Every fig is different. Every fig is unique. No one will ever convince me that another fig tastes like Celeste, because I've tasted so many thousands of figs and they don't. They don't taste like Celeste. It's unique. It's just like the Smith is unique. And this beautiful, fantastically delicious, perfectly ripe Ronde Bordeaux. Or this perfectly ripe tiger. Every one is delicious. But, wow. This weather has produced some of the most delicious figs. Let me move on because there's so much to do. Hey, Deb, can you help me? There's one terrorizing fly that keeps wanting. I don't like any flies on my. I haven't seen a single fly.
Yeah.
But now that I'm sitting down talking, but if you could just take these in the house,
Yeah,
and I'll take these and I'll go
hold on.
pick a few figs. But I want to make that final point. The difference between a very ripe Celeste or a very ripe fig, any fig, and a perfectly ripe fig, especially a perfectly ripe in-ground fig, you can add another 200% improvement on that. Now you might say, that's ridiculous, Lou. That's just too much. No, it's not. That's why so many people that have tasted figs, they'll say, oh, I don't like figs. They only tasted them one time because they didn't get them when they were perfectly ripe. Or they got them when they were ripe but not very ripe. Or they got them when they were very ripe but not perfectly ripe. Or they got them when they weren't, more likely, weren't ripe at all. Just edible. And there's a lot of times when figs are just edible, but that doesn't make them superb. Okay? Superb is superb is superb. Okay? And with figs, it's perfectly ripe in-ground harvests. Now, containers are good. We've talked about that. Certain figs, and we've talked about that in my videos. There's certain figs that are really wonderful in ground and in containers, or just containers and not. Well, that's not true. There's no figs that are just good in containers and not good or better in ground, unless the temperature is too cold to grow them in the ground. Then, of course, that's a different story. Then you're forced to grow them in containers. But we can go on and on about this. But let me move on. And so I want to make some very, very important points. You know, that reminds me of a story. Gosh, I got to get moving here. Okay, let me get moving.
I'll try to take that in house too.
Yeah, I'm going to add some. I got lots of figs.
I'll get you a different bowl.
Oh, you want to get me a different bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just pick while I talk.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
You gotta get.
Hey, can I get a picture of you?
Pop.
Better part of me.
Wow, look at all
Better half of me for sure. Hey, Pops. Come here, Popsy. Hey, want to go with Mommy or you want to go with me? Okay, well, I'll be around the bend here.
I'll bring the bowl.
I want to talk to my viewers. This is my little fig garden, certain varieties. Do I need another fig? Absolutely not. I'm crazy. But these are some of my favorite varieties, and so I started them up. And I put them in containers eventually. Dig them up out of the ground, put them in containers. Well, I wanted to tell you a story while I show you my figs here. I've got a lot of figs. I've been eating a lot of figs. Wonderful, wonderful figs. These are some very large Peter's honey that have been getting ripe, and I actually have to climb up on the ladder to get to certain parts of the tree here. Let me go up and show you. I've got to keep the birds from pecking at them because they're so valuable to me, and fortunately they haven't eaten any, but I've been putting some bags over them to protect them from the birds. And some of these are very, very ripe. Last night I probably ate a dozen easily of these very, very delicious Peter's honey figs. They're very large and just exquisite. There is no other word to describe them. And I mean exquisite. And then I've got so many more Celeste to pick. Lots and lots of Celeste. And they're perfectly ripe. You can see how they're just hanging there, wanting to be picked. So here are the birds. A couple birds have gotten to a couple of these, but not much. This tree could use a little water. And now that I'm back, I'm going to see to it that it gets a little bit of water, not too much, just a little. Because I'll show you what the effects are when they really need water and what it does to the figs in a little while. But there's plenty, there's just so many figs here. And here are my O'Rourke. What's left of them, they've been getting ripe. They're one of the earliest figs. They've been getting ripe a long time. And you see, I wanted to show you, maybe I should pick one. Well, here we go. There's one that just fell to the ground. Look at that. This is O'Rourke. Here's another beautifully, perfectly ripe. Let me pick these. See them? You see the little striations on these? Of course, their parent, O'Rourke, named after the Honorable Dr. O'Rourke, in his honor.